Are there any Montrealers in the house other than myself? Just my friend Cecil, that's it? Don't you guys know that if there was no Montreal, there'd be no Leonard? Check, check. But then, if there's no Leonard, Montreal would be different on this map. How do you think it's going? Okay. I think that maybe I was invited to come because I'm a Montrealer, and I don't know if you know. Do you guys know that Leonard's from Montreal? Yes, of course. Not everybody does. You never know. But Montreal is one of the most poetic cities in the world, if I do say so myself. And when you're growing up in Montreal, especially with the coolest mother, who is a rock journalist of her generation, Leonard was the romantic king, and that's the guy that all the women talk about, and still to this day talk about being, the heart and soul of romance in Montreal. And so one of the things I wanted to tell you a story about my mother. I guess it'd be late 60s. She was babe journalist, music journalist, and was interviewing Leonard and was terrified. And at the very end of the interview, the romantic man himself turned it around and asked her the question, Linda, what do you think is the mystery of love? How do you sustain love? And my mother says, compatibility? And to this day, she's so embarrassed that she thought that maybe, sex, love, romance. And she was thinking about toothpaste or something, about being compatible with each other. And then years later, they reunited. And he said, I think I now understand what you were saying way back then, which is real cute. So compatibility is perhaps the answer. And then also later, the women in, Leonard, who was having obviously the most incredible renaissance, as one should. But remember when all that news came out about the bad manager and the strange situations? There was a whole army of women that are my mother's age in Montreal that were going to start the Ladies for Leonard, and we were going to raise money, and I was going to be their young helper and be like, raising money for Leonard, and let's help him get his money back. The point is that guy, he represents a lot for a lot of women in the world, and I'm a proud Montreal woman. And I guess I think there was one other exciting romantic poet, compatibility. Oh, my mother ran into him last week, that's it. And she told him I was going to be in Texas, and I chose Sisters of Mercy, and he gave his blessing, because he was in Montreal having a coffee at his favorite Portuguese little coffee shop. And just so you know, like Montreal, the street names are Marianne, and they are these women, the streets of Montreal are a lot of the women that he sings about. So that's my Montreal anecdote for you guys. And the Sisters of Mercy is, I think, one of my favorites just for the title in itself. And I'm a bass player that plays loud rock music. I do not play guitars, and I do not play acoustic, but the lovely Webb sisters have lent me their acoustic guitar. And I think Leonard would appreciate the minimalism of my interpretation, and the guitar virtuosos will not. Ha! Oh, the Sisters of Mercy, they have not departed or gone. What the hell? Sorry. Okay, I'm starting over. Oh, the Sisters of Mercy, they have not departed or gone. They were waiting for me when I thought that I just can't go on. They brought me this comfort, and later they brought me this song. Oh, I hope you run into them, you've been traveling so long. Everything that you cannot control. It begins with your family, but then comes around to your soul. Oops. Well, I've been where you're hanging, and I think I can see how you're been. into them. I touched both my eyes and I touched the dew on their hem. If your life is a leaf that the seasons tear off and condemn, they will blind you with love that is graceful and green as a stem. Sleeping, I hope you run into them soon. Don't turn on the light, you can read their address by the moon. And you won't make me jealous if I hear that they've sweetened your night. We weren't lovers like that, but besides, it would still be alright. We weren't lovers like that, but besides, it would still be alright. In honor of Leonard, thank you Leonard, thank you Montreal, thank you Austin, which is the Montreal of Texas, and Waterloo Records. Thank you.